guys, it's Shill Shimmers. I am back with another video, and I feel like I've been on a roll this week with just women-owned company. This video is no different. This is going to be a review on Uoma Beauty. This is a new brand at Ulta. It's women-owned, and the CEO is actually from Nigeria, so the brand is actually kind of a celebration for African culture, which I think is really cool. And I have tried two of her eyeshadow palettes. I did upload one video. There's one coming after this one, but today I'm going to be trying her face products, so I feel like it's going to be a very exciting video. So before we get started, please hit that notification bell below, subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you back here, and let's just go ahead and get started. So like I said, I'm going to be testing out some of her face products. This is a new brand that actually just came to Ulta, so if you are not familiar with it, you can definitely check it out at Ulta. You can also go to her website, which has tons of information. But the name of it is Uoma Beauty, spelled U-O-M-A Beauty. You can see it right here. She came out with some face products. She has foundation, concealer, liquid eyeliner, some lipsticks, and 3 eyeshadow palettes. I feel like I've talked about this before on my other video that I uploaded. I'm going to link it up top if you want to know about these eyeshadow palettes. I did use both of these on my eyes today, which I loved. Love my eyes today. They do have some kind of pressed glitters on some mattes. So if you want to check that out, definitely I'll leave it up top. So that is it for the intro. I feel like I've talked enough. I'm going to be talking about the products that I have here today. So the first one I have is the Say What foundation. I'm going to be going over each product, and then we'll go ahead and do the demo part afterwards. So this is how it looks like right here. I think the packaging is really cute. It has kind of this like see-through pink cap right here, and it does have a pump. I really love this packaging. I think it's really cute, and it says Uoma kind of all across the bottle. It's a glass bottle, which feels very heavy and expensive, and I really like it. So she came out with 51 shades, which blows my mind. It brings 1 fluid ounce, and it retails for $39. You can get this at Ulta, exclusive to Ulta and her website. So like I said, it's a weightless coverage, it's buildable, hydrating. She did put some kind of ingredients in here that makes it very hydrating for your skin, which is really good. It's supposed to be long lasting. It's a vibrant matte finish. It's paraben free, talc free, and D5 free, and also vegan. So that's really good. So she kind of divided the shades into 6 categories. You get White Pearl, Fair Lady, Honey, Bronze Venus, Brown Sugar, and Brown and Black Pearl. So you kind of get all your shades underneath those categories. They're kind of, the shades are going to be called the same, just underneath those categories. So they go from fair to deep, obviously, and you are going to get cool, warm, olive, and neutral undertones. So each category kind of has different ingredients depending on, you know, kind of what skin problems those people tend to have in each spectrum, I would say, because even though I am on the medium side, people with my skin color tend to have kind of oily skin or normal skin. I'm kind of like the odd one out that has dry skin, but there are some skin problems that are just more common to very specific, you know, skin types. So I feel like that was really cool of her to think about those things. I definitely appreciate the hydrating factors on this foundation, especially for myself. So like I said, there are 6 categories. I fall under Honey, which is the 3rd one. And I did my shade match online to my MAC Studio Fix, which is what I use every day. And it gave me the match to use T1W, which is a warm undertone. So that is what I have right here, and I feel like I was spot on with my foundation. I am so happy. This never happens to me. The next product I have right here is the concealer. This one is called Stay Woke Luminous Brightening Concealer, and it retails for $25. I feel like that's a really good price point for a concealer, but it is kind of on the tiny side. I don't know how much product you get on this. You get 0.17 ounces. So you get 0.17 ounces on the Uoma, and I do want to do kind of a comparison. This one is the Juvia's Place. It's $14, so it's less expensive, and it brings 0.34 ounces. So I also have the Born This Way from Too Faced. This one brings 0.50 ounces, so half a fluid ounce, and I think this one retails for $29? $27? I forget. So this one doesn't bring a ton of product, and it's still $25, but I think the packaging is super cute, and it does have a doe foot applicator. I feel like this is kind of my favorite applicator of all the ones that I have tried. This one is also known for the Tarte Shape Tape, and I feel like the Juvia's Place as well. I keep mentioning the Juvia's because I'm obsessed with her, all the products that I tried from her recently. But this came out in 17 shades. It has the same 6 categories. The downside for this one is that kind of the medium shades with the honey it's olive undertones. So I don't feel like I am an olive undertones, but I did have to purchase this one on the olive undertone. So I went ahead and purchased Honey T1, and I feel like I could have gone a little bit lighter with this one. You are supposed to go under your same category and pick one shade lighter than your foundation. That's kind of how I played it, but I just went for the same one because I didn't know which one was the lightest on, I would say, Fair Lady. But I am going to go ahead and purchase another one of these on the lightest shade. So I think the concealer is supposed to be matte. It's not kind of supposed to give you any, luminosity to your eyes. But I did feel like it's very good at brightening it. So I did really like this. So the next product is crazy expensive in my opinion. This one is a stick, contour, and highlight. It is called Double Take Contour Stick. And I kind of chose the honey shade because it comes in 6 shades. There is one for each category. And at first I thought that I had gone too dark because you can see how it's pretty dark, and the highlight is also, I thought, pretty dark. But I think it ended up being pretty good for my skin. So you can kind of pick this depending on where you fall on those 6 categories. So this one is silicone and cruelty free, fragrance free, and it has lychee fruit. How do you say that? I don't know. And it's supposed to hydrate the skin. So I just thought that this was crazy expensive for a contour stick, but I went ahead and tried it because I had to know why they priced this so high. I had to know. So yeah, that is it for this foundation. I do show how much this brings kind of in one of the next clips that you're going to see. But in here it says that the highlighter brings 0.17 ounces and the sculptor brings 0.21. So I don't know how I feel about this yet. The last product that I bought from her is this eyeliner. This one is the Uoma Aphrodisiac Cleopatra Ink Liquid Liner. It's just a black eyeliner, and I'm just going to show it to you how it looks. This one retails for $18 and is in this really pretty kind of pen. It kind of looks like a pen. It's very, golden and shiny. And it has a very fine tip, as you can see. It's pretty black, I would say. But the tip is very, very fine, and it's pretty long, in my opinion. I do have some thoughts about this that you're going to hear in the end of the video. So this one is a carbon black color, as you can see right here. And it's supposed to be black, long-lasting, water-resistant, and it's in a marker form, which you can see in the little applicator. And it's supposed to be really easily removable with warm water, which I think I can vouch for because I did swipe this earlier, and it kind of came right off, which I think I really like, which kind of scares me because what if it's raining? It's definitely not water resistant, but it does say water resistant, so I don't know. So that is just all the products that I have today. I'm pretty excited about this video, so let's just jump right ahead and see how all these products perform. For my eyes, I kind of combined these two Uoma palettes. This one is the Savage one, and then this one is the Allure. So I kind of did a mix of the two of them. I love the shimmers or the glitters in these palettes. I honestly think they are the best, but I'm not sure about the mattes on the Allure palette. This is the second time I use it, and it's just giving me a little bit of trouble. I think the Savage one was great. I'll be uploading a video after this one using just the this Allure palette solely, so maybe you can see there what I'm talking about. But today it's kind of like about the face products, so that's what I'm going to be talking about. Let me start with the foundation, but before, I think I'm going to just use a little bit of primer. This one is the one I use every day. This one is a Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer, and I'm just going to apply this under my eyes, just a tiny little bit, because, even though I kind of want to test the foundation by itself, this is kind of like my everyday routine. So I'll be able to know if something doesn't work with this primer because that's never happened to me before. And what I'm going to be doing is kind of dotting it on my face because I don't want to go too strong too fast. So I just want to do a shade match on my face first. So I'll be taking a little bit of this and I'm just going to be placing it right there. And I think that's a pretty good shade match, honestly. I'm going to be just putting a little bit of the NC25 from MAC Studio Fix. This is my everyday foundation. And I just want to put it right next to it so you can see the difference in color. I think it's pretty good. I actually think this one fits me a little bit better than this one. This one kind of has a peachy undertone, which is surprising because I thought NC25 was my perfect shade. But obviously I haven't, put this all over my face. So I'm just going to start by putting it all over my face like this. I feel like this is probably a full pump, and it does seem pretty, not thick. It actually feels like in the medium, I would say. I'm going to be doing this side of my face with a brush. And whoa, I think this is going to be pretty good coverage, I feel like. They didn't really say what kind of finish this was supposed to be, but I'm kind of seeing kind of a velvety matte. I hope I'm not wrong, but that is just how it's applying on my face, and I kind of really like how it's looking. It was kind of really easy to blend out, which I'm really impressed about. And as far as shades, I think this is pretty good. I would say this is kind of a medium coverage. I did apply one full pump, and you can definitely see right here all my pimples right there. And I do feel like this is not good when your skin is really dry. I do have dry skin, and I'm kind of seeing a little bit of my dryness right there, but maybe when I go in with another pump, maybe that'll change. So what I'm going to be doing on this side is applying it with my beauty sponge, and I actually didn't even finish the whole full pump that I applied, but I am going to be putting one full pump again. So I'll be doing the same thing. I'm just going to be dotting this on my face. It does feel very lightweight on the skin. It's not like really heavy or anything. Since it feels so lightweight, I feel like this is something that you can probably build up really easily, and it's not going to cake up on you. So I am going to be using this sponge by Real Techniques, and I'm just going to be blending it out. There it is, on both sides are on. This one I feel like looks a lot smoother than this side. I would say this is definitely a matte, like velvety, not super matte. It kind of gives you a little bit of that satin or like beige finish, and I really love it. I think it's really flattering for the skin, and I feel like this side definitely looks a lot better than the brush side. I feel like the brush side looks a lot more dry. And I do feel like this is still medium coverage. So I am going to go ahead and put one full pump on each side. I'm going to fast forward this part. Alright, so there are two pumps. I could have probably gone with just half pump more on both sides of my face. I didn't think that it was going to go so far because this side definitely feels a lot heavier than this one. I feel like this is a foundation for like every day that you kind of want to put on with your beauty blender, because this side just feels like the foundation hasn't set yet, if that makes any sense. I don't think it oxidized on me or anything. The color seems pretty straightforward, and it just looks really good on my skin. I feel like it's a very good match. I'm going to step back so the lights are not only on my face, so you can see how the color kind of matches my skin tone a little bit. It's a little more on the yellow side, but again, I'm going to probably get more bronzed during the summer, so I think it's a really good match. I love the fact that I went on the website and kind of did that shade match, and it matched me to exactly my shade, because I struggle with the Juvia's Place, and I do feel, mentioning the Juvia's, this is one that you kind of can work with a lot slower, I would say. You can kind of take your time with this one. The Juvia's ones, as soon as you apply it on your face, you have to work very quickly because it is going to set and dry very quickly. So this is good about this foundation. I do like that. So now we are moving on to the concealer. I think this shade is probably really close to my skin tone. I ended up getting Honey T1. I probably should have gone for something a little bit lighter than this one, because you can see how close this is, but you know, that's okay. I don't mind it. This is a very thick concealer, so I don't think I have to go too heavy with it. I think it's gonna work really great for me. I have way too much makeup on my face right now. I'm like not used to this. Actually, it did give me some luminosity, I feel like. That is brightening up my under eye really nicely. You can see right there how I really brightened everything up. I do not think this one is full coverage, and I probably wouldn't go ahead and put more, because under my eyes it feels pretty packed. Not in a bad way. I think it's a pretty decent, you know, coverage. I'm not complaining whatsoever. So I think my face looks pretty flawless. I would say this at this point, it's definitely a full coverage foundation. You cannot see really anything on my face. You can't see any redness, any pimples, nothing at all. And I really like how it's just sitting on my face. It's very, you know, comfortable, and I feel like it looks really, really good. That's just my opinion. I feel like it's also a really pretty matte. I am going to be setting under my eyes. That is the only place where I'll be setting, and I'll be using this Chanel Translucent number 2 powder. Uoma did not have a setting powder, so I'm just going to be using this one. So now I'm going to be doing under my eyes, and I'll be back to do some contouring and highlighting. So I'll be back because I'm pretty excited for that part. I'm going to be jumping into the Double Take Contour Stick. And I think for the looks of it, I think it's going to be a little bit too dark for me. I do want to see how much product comes in here because the price of this, it's pretty steep. So that is what you get on the contour side. And I'm assuming you get kind of the same amount on the highlighter side. Yeah, but the same thing on both sides. So hopefully this is really good because $40 for a contour stick, I mean, I paid it for the purpose of this video, but I'm pretty sure if this is not like blowing me out of my seat, I'm probably going to return this. So it looks a little bit on the dark side. I want to do kind of a swatch right here because even the highlighter side looks a little bit dark for me. It's right here. It might work actually. So we're going to see. I think I'm going to start with the contour, and I'm probably going to go, oh, I'm scared. I'm probably going to go like that first. I don't know. Alright, let's try it like that, and depending on how this goes, then we'll do more. I'm going to be blending this out with this Makeup Geek brush. This one is their stippling brush. I mentioned this a lot because I love this brush. And let me see. I feel like that blended out really cute, but I think it's not like really smooth. Let me see. You can probably blend this out with a beauty blender if you wanted to as well, but I'm just going with this one. I think I can apply a little bit more, so I'm going to be doing like that. I was just too scared for this to be super crazy pigmented, but I think we're safe. I'm going to be applying a little bit on that side, going under here, and then on my nose. Ooh, that was a little twisted. Alright, so wish me luck because I'm pretty scared. I hope I don't end up, you know, looking too crazy over here. I did apply a good amount, but I feel like this is blending out really easily, at least with this brush. It's creamy, but it's not like overly creamy, so I feel like if your skin is as dry as mine, you can probably end up looking a little bit dry, but I don't know. I want to see the end result to see if it's applying patchy because so far I feel like it's blending out okay, but I feel like we could be doing a lot better. So maybe it is the brush, but honestly I use this brush for everything. So I really would be surprised if it's the brush. Fact, for them to price this as $40, it's just crazy to me. I feel like it's a little bit overpriced, but you are getting two things out of it. You are getting a bronzer and you are getting a highlight. So I don't know, maybe it is worth it. We'll see at the end. I think that looks pretty good. I don't think the strokes or the application of it is very smooth, but I am going to be going in with this beauty sponge and just kind of setting everything. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think I like it, but I wouldn't pay $40 for this, you know? Let me go on the highlighter side and see how this highlight is actually going to look on my skin. I don't usually like, you know, sticky forms of highlight, but I guess we can work with this. Alright, so I'm going to be just blending this out with my finger like this. is a very subtle highlight, which I really, really like that. It's subtle, but it's still there. Like, you can still see it. I want to see if I can build this up a little bit because I think that this look is kind of asking for a bold highlight. You know what I mean? I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to go over this right here to kind of make it a little bit more, you know, visible that I have highlight on because I really want this highlight to show. So I think that was pretty decent, and I think the shade match was actually pretty good for my skin. It looked a little bit dark on there, especially this shade right here, because I usually don't go for those darker shades for contouring, but I think that looks pretty good. I think it blended out pretty easily, and I think the only place where I didn't like it was right here because it looks a little bit like it's missing spots, but on this side it looks really good. I'm not going to be setting this with bronzer or anything like that. I'm just going to leave it as that because I really want to test out how these products perform. I feel like that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm pretty impressed with how everything looks and how everything applied. That is all the products on my face today, including her eyeshadow palettes. So what do you guys think? Alright, so I have to say, I love this look today. I really love it. I am super impressed with how everything worked out. I feel like this is a good brand that I'm probably going to be paying more attention to because all the products that I tried today, nothing disappointed me. Minus one product maybe? I don't know. But let's talk a little bit about each product individually. I am going to talk about the foundation first. This one is the Say What foundation. I feel like this was very impressive. I am kind of a little picky on foundation, especially because I have dry skin. I like them to be a little bit on the full coverage side because I do have some things that I want to cover up. And I also don't like them to be very heavy, cakey, like maybe the Urban Decay Eyeliner foundation or the Kat Von D. That one, I can't even come close to that foundation. But I feel like this one was a very good, lightweight foundation that covered everything up. I do have 4 pumps of foundation on my face, don't forget that, but I feel like I could have gone with maybe 2 or 2.5. I did end up liking it more with the Beauty Blender than the brush side because I feel like the Beauty Blender just gave me more coverage and the brush side just looked a little bit streaky. But that is a personal thing. I feel like it's going to wear different from person to person, so maybe you can try it and decide how you want to use it. I also really like that the color match on the website was spot on, so if you can go onto our website, uomabeauty.com, definitely do that and just color match yourself to a foundation that you really like and you think that fits you well, because that worked out pretty great for me. As far as price, I think $39 is a pretty standard price for high end. It is definitely expensive, but I do think that you would like this. Again, I want to see how this wears on a really hot day or maybe on an 8-hour day, because I did apply this kind of 2 hours ago. So I can't really speak to how it performs on a daily, but I do want to try it out some more ways and maybe come back and do a follow-up video and let you guys know how I think about it. But so far, this blew me away. Like, everything looks so good. I don't think I have any texture showing on any fine lines, and I can't even show the lines right here where I usually have them. I didn't see that anything rubbed off, especially after using the contour stick over my foundation, which I'm pretty impressed about. So yeah, that is all my thoughts on the foundation. I really liked it. I feel like it's 10 out of 10. So let's talk a little bit about the concealer. I feel like $25 for only 0.17 ounces is a little bit expensive, but I did end up liking this concealer a lot. I do want to try a lighter shade because I think that could have gone way lighter. I think it's very thick. I think it reminds me kind of the Jouer concealer or maybe the Flower Beauty one, because it is more on the thicker side. That does not mean it's going to have more coverage just because it's thicker. It's just kind of the consistency of it. But it is pretty medium coverage, so I really like that. And I really love that she came out with 17 shades. I feel like you can definitely find your shade on that one. So the next product is the Uoma Beauty Double Take Contour Stick. I feel like this should have been $27, $30 the most. $40 is just outrageous to me. I feel like it looks pretty. It definitely blended out pretty easily. I will give her that. The shade, the tones and the shades are pretty, like really pretty. It does not look like muddy on my face. Everything blended out really nicely. And it kind of looks very velvety, all of it together. Like the concealer, the foundation, and the contour stick. But I just can't get over the price tag. I can't. And the highlight actually looks really cute. I thought it was going to be more on the dull side, because usually when I have one from Kiko Cosmetics, and that one, every time I applied it, it's very like mushy, and every time I kind of applied it with my finger, it kind of like rubs off and moves as your day goes on. This one feels like it kind of sets into place, which I really like. I think it's really stunning. It's also very flattering, which I think I also like, but I wish that she could have came out with maybe some different tones of highlight, because I would like to see something else that is not golden. But maybe she could came out with a highlighter stick that has maybe 2 shades on each side. The last product is the eyeliner. This one is the Aphrodisiac Cleopatra Ink Black Eyeliner. I feel like this was a pass for me, not because it's black or not because it didn't work. I just feel like the applicator of this is kind of too on the long side, if that makes any sense. I've never had that complaint about an eyeliner before, but as I was applying it and I was like coming back, I usually don't have any trouble with like where I applied it, but since it was so long, it was kind of bending. I'm awful at explaining, but it was kind of bending, so it kind of made it really hard to just do a straight line, if that makes any sense. And I also thought that it was way too much on the thin side, which is crazy because I usually look for the thinnest eyeliner, but this one was just way too thin. I had to go like 3 or 4 times in the beginning to just apply my my eyeliner, which that never ever happens to me. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this eyeliner. I also thought that it was kind of like running out of ink. The first time I applied it, it does show up pretty black, but I like to go a couple of times and just, you know, I like my eyeliner to have some ink in it and to be visible, that I can see that it's not going to dry up on me in a month. So it does give me that feeling. And I do feel like the price point for this is $18. It's pretty good standard for an eyeliner. Alright guys, so I wasn't planning on doing a wear test or anything, but I just wanted to pop on here for a second and just show you guys how it looks, because I've been wearing it for 5 hours already, and I'm pretty impressed. It is 87 degrees here in Philly, and I've been running errands. I went to Ulta to return this eyeliner because I didn't really like it, but everything else looked so good. I am so impressed with how everything looks. You can see right here that it kind of looks still muddy on this side, but I think on this side it looks really good. I think it was just some type of application. I'm going to try it with a beauty blender, the contour stick I made, to see if it looks a little bit better. But so far, I'm going to do one more shot outside so you can see with the heat or just with the sun on my skin how it looks. But I'm pretty impressed. Pretty impressed. I think it's way too sunny, but I think right there you can see how my skin looks. Just the highlight actually looks pretty good, and I think the foundation is not overly matte. I think I have some dewiness to my skin and just some glow to it, so I really like it. So that brings me to the end of this video. Let me know if you have heard this brand, if it's your first time hearing about it, if you didn't even know that it was coming to Ulta, if you have seen it at a store, if you picked up anything, just let me know down below in the comments. As always, don't forget to subscribe below, like this video, and I will see you on my next one. Bye!